Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no. Oh, my God.
Maverick. Maverick. Come on, brother. Damn near 2 hours? Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Come on, man. 2 hours, man. Come on, dog. We 2 hours. This 2 hours. Almost damn near 2 hours. 1 hour and 41 minutes. I I guess. But anyways, though, shout out to the homie Maverick though. Make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel. You know what I'm saying? You already know that show that love over here. We go show that love right back. Make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel, run them likes up, or the views up, or the comments up, run the subscribers up, and all that good stuff. And you already know. Top top 25 wrestlers by the homie Maverick. So without further ado, man, let's get right into this, dog.
Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Mav, bringing you back to another wrestling list, man. You know what I'm saying? You tune into overrated, underrated. This time I'm gonna let you know which wrestlers I personally fancy to my own enjoyment and to my own indulgence. You know what I'm saying? This is top 25 favorite wrestlers. I like these 25 wrestlers so much that I can't leave any of them off the list. You know, and you know, to those of you that don't believe I love wrestling, like take a look at my shoulder drip. Take a look at these straps, these legendary straps. Take a look at these. When wrestling was peak, these two belts were in the game right here. Ruthless Aggression era, best of everything. I swear to goodness. And you're going to see a lot of Ruthless Aggression era wrestlers in this list. You're not going to see, you know, all the new guys. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to see a whole bunch of them. I might have to make a separate list of newer wrestlers I like. But these are wrestlers that I grew up watching and admiring since my days as a pup, tuning in to Monday Night Raw. And before it was moved to Friday nights, I used to watch SmackDowns on Thursday nights. You know what I'm saying? And then 05 it got moved to Fridays. You know what I'm saying? Then for some reason it got moved to Tuesdays. But it is what it is. But yeah, man, we're going to go ahead and move forward. I'm going to put a reminder. This isn't a GO list, so if anybody left off of here, make your own list, okay? And if you're offended, remember, this is not a greatest of all time list. This is just who I like personally. Who I like more than who. You know what I'm saying? This is who I like on a personal level. You know what I mean? If I had to make a GO list, everybody on this list would be reshuffled. You know what I'm saying? So says the words of the Undisputed Champion. Anyway, we're going to go forth and go ahead with number 25. I'll give you a hint. It's a bird. Is it a plane? No. Stand back. There's a hurricane coming through. Now the hurricane, he's aka Gregory Helms, he's the only guy that can pull off a proper superhero gimmick and actually make it like entertaining. That's why he's on this list. You know what I'm saying? From the moment I heard his theme song and I saw him come out in that cape, you know what I'm saying? I knew, I'm like, this guy's gonna be a smash hit. And he was for like a short duration of time. You know what I'm saying? From like 02 to 05 up until he took his mask off. Like the hurricane, you know what I'm saying? He was never really like a main eventer. But he had the wrestling ability to be, you know, set in position for that. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, his mic skills were very, very good. Like, he could compete on the mic toe-to-toe with The Rock. Where y'all remember when he was feuding with The Rock in 03? You know what I'm saying? And The Rock was at Hollywood Hill. He would always ask, whoa, The Rock, you used to be an idol, an icon, loved by millions and millions. But now you come out tonight and you trash the people. What's up with that? And then The Rock was trying to come back at him, calling him a hamburger and stuff like that. And then there was one time where The Rock, after he eliminated Hurricane in a Battle Royal, and he was like, I heard you screaming, Rock, but that was when Booker T threw your ass over the top rope. And then The Rock was like, The Rock was screaming something in your ear. He screamed, cool, machete. You know what The Rock was screaming in your ears, man? And then the Hurricane was like, well, judging from what I saw in that curtain, it just may mean that the Scorpion King got a tiny ding-a-ling. And I'm like, hey, yo, no diddy, bro. And they're like, no. There's a reason why they call him Rock the Rock Easy there, big fella. But nah, man. I would have to say, a lot of my favorite matches from the Hurricane was when they, his matches when he teamed up with Hurricane, when he teamed up with Kane, and they called themselves Hurricane. I liked those matches. I just have to say my top three are when he beat The Rock with a roll-up after Stone Cold music was playing and they distracted him, so it wasn't necessarily a clean victory. And then there was a time where he almost beat Triple H with a chokeslam. You know what I'm saying? After doing his Eye of Hurricane, aka Nightmare on Helm Street move. And then I would also say another great match when he's in his Hurricane gimmick. I like his set of matches against Paul Burchill, even though they used him to bury Paul Burchill. I still liked them, and they were pretty entertaining on Tuesday Night ECW. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. But I have to say, like peak Hurricane, You know what I'm saying? When he's takes off the mask and becomes Gregory Helms, and he pretty much runs the cruiserweight division. You know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't imagine a better cruiserweight champion than Gregory Helms at that time. You know what I'm saying? Rey Mysterio was already in the main event. Matt Hardy had went to Raw at that point, so they had no other cruiserweights to push but him. So yeah, man. Shout out Hurricane. Shout out Hurricane. Number 24. He's one of the football players turned wrestlers, and a lot of y'all are split on him. Me, I have a slight degree of respect for this guy, so I put him on the list. Bill Goldberg. Now,
No. 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 No.
Oh my God, bro. Oh hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Oh, hell no!
Oh hell no! Oh my God!
Hear me and hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
Hey, boy, ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no 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 fucking way, boy.
In Jesus' name, fuck this nigga.
No, sir. Not me.
No. Fuck this nigga, man. Fuck this nigga. If you slip on a banana peel and tear your ACL, your Achilles, and you can't wrestle no more. You can't walk no more. No!
Look. Before I knew about him ending Bret Hart's in-ring career prematurely, and looking back, he wasn't the very best worker, but he did it.
He was hot garbage, hot trash, hot doodle juice. Everything about this man was terrible. In-ring work, terrible. Mic skills, terrible. This man was unsafe to work with. Every damn wrestler who worked with this man in the ring. I don't know about The Rock. The Rock never really said nothing about Goldberg. But everybody else that has worked with this man in the ring has said he is unsafe. He is not a good person to work with. You have a high tendency to get injured in a match against him. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
He did have that intimidating factor in that physique and that build. You know what I'm saying? That could warrant him basically a threat to the Raw locker room. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, when he first came to WWE, because that's how I latched on to Goldberg, because I didn't grow up watching WCW like you guys did. You know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up watching WCW like that, so I was always more into, you know what I'm saying, WWE. And when I first saw him spear The Rock live on television, I'm like, yo, this guy's a threat. This guy's a problem.
I watched him in WCW. He was never that good. Like, I got introduced to wrestling through my cousins, and all my cousins said the exact same thing. Here go this nigga. This nigga can't even wrestle, man. Why they be putting this dude on TV? This dude can't even wrestle. And I started looking at it, and he was really fucking up in the ring. I was like, look at that shit. He fucking up in the ring. It was like, I saw it, and I was like, wow, this dude really sucks. Granted, I was like 3 years old at the time, but this dude really sucked.
You know what I'm saying? And then like The Rock called him out next week. He was like, "Some Goldberg, The Rock, one of the biggest matches of all time. Sitting in split in front of you. The Miz and The Rock says this. Nah." And I'm like, "Yo, he's scared of this guy. This dude is a problem. Rock, why don't you go up against him?" And then when The Rock lost to him at Backlash to put him over, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Yup, it's official. This guy is a monster." And then like, dude, his matches feuding with Triple H and Evolution. Pete Goldberg to me, in my opinion. A lot of y'all say it's a 127-0 streak. I told y'all, I was never a fan of WCW. I didn't grow up watching it. I grew up watching WWE only. You know what I'm saying? And I just heard about him, you know what I'm saying, from people who were WCW fans talking mad shit about him. You know what I'm saying? And I was split because I didn't know him. But when he debuted and started feuding with Triple H, I'm like, this could be the guy that could end Triple H's reign of terror. Because we WWE fans know how sick we were at Triple H always holding the World Heavyweight Championship. We was hoping and praying for this one person. We was hoping and praying for a miracle, a glimmer of hope to finally just get this belt off of Triple H, for God's sakes. And we thought Goldberg was the guy. A good teaser was when in SummerSlam 03, when he speared Chris Jericho through the doggone pod, and dude was going crazy, like spears everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Almost beat Triple H if it wasn't for Evolution helping him out. You know what I'm saying? And then when he finally beat Triple H at Unforgiven that year, with his career on the line, we all thought that Goldberg was going to hold the title for very long. You know what I'm saying? But like Survivor Series came, and Triple H did a rematch, and they tried to injure his knee. Goldberg still came out fresh, and I'm like, yup, he's going to hold the belt for a while. And then WWE put a big one on reverse card. It was like, nope, we're going to throw Kane in here to throw off Goldberg, and we're going to have Triple H get the belt back again. And I'm like, man, we are so screwed again. Why do they keep letting Triple H get the belt? Why? Anyway, but yeah, man. But if anything, though, what put him lower on this list, I did not like how his first WWE run ended. Because y'all know, you fans that have watched WrestleMania 20 closely like I did, y'all know why I say that. Because, like, dude, you decide to go out there and put on the worst performance in a WWE ring I had ever seen at that point against Brock Lesnar. After an amazing build-up. The build for this feud, his first feud with Brock Lesnar, amazing. Amazing. You know what I'm saying? You already began a storyline with him at the Royal Rumble when Brock Lesnar crashes your interview. Then you said, I'm going to go to Mania and give back my title once I smash everybody in the Rumble. Brock Lesnar comes out, F5s you, and then like once you get up, he's staring cold at you after exiting the ring like a coward. Then Kurt Angle comes from behind and throws you over the ropes. You know what I'm saying? Then you tell Brock Lesnar, you're next, you son of a bitch. You're next. You know what I'm saying? Come on. That's great. That's great long-term storytelling, man. And then hell, Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin, gives you the ticket to No Way Out, front row seat. To go watch Goldberg defend the title against WWE Championship against Eddie Guerrero. And you get in there and spear the living hell out of Brock, weakening him for Eddie to hit him with the frog splash to win the title from him. And then Brock Lesnar goes on SmackDown the other week. He said, I beg you, Vince McMahon, give me Goldberg. And then Vince goes on Raw and denies us. And then Austin, you know what I'm saying, being the hype man for the crowd that he is, he's like, if you want to see Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg at WrestleMania 20, give me the hell yeah. Because he was the sheriff of Raw. And then Vince finally granted it. And then while he was trying to be a guest, and Vince told Austin he's the guest referee, you know what I'm saying? He's having Austin guest referee an impromptu match with Vince and Eric Bischoff. But guess what happens? Brock Lesnar comes up out of nowhere and F5s the heck out of Austin. And he steals his ATV. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. This is great writing. Great writing. They just had to ruin it by putting on what just so happened to be the butt fumble of the WWE. That's what I call that match, the butt fumble. 23 years, it would take 23 years for them to make up for that. It would take 23 years because I think their match at WrestleMania 33 was amazing. For the short amount of time that they had to work in and for the limited movesets, I decided to let slide. It was a makeup call. But yeah, man. Oh, no, man. Goldberg, man. Hall of Famer for sure, but for you to be the GOAT, I don't see that. Anyways, 23rd favorite wrestler. I love this dude so much because he's going to be one of the only black guys on here. So, can you say 5 time? 5 time? Can you dig it, sucker? Booker T. Yes, Sirski. Dude, you cannot tell me this dude did not know how to put on a show. You cannot tell me any better. You cannot tell me that this dude doesn't know how to throw on the clinic. Like, this guy's moveset is otherworldly. He can go from power scale wrestling to high flying in a moment. His mic skills were, definitely the top. Can you dig that, sucker? You know what I'm saying? Everything from his, his smart guy gimmick to him and Austin feuding, you know what I'm saying? And him getting his butt beat in the grocery store, you know what I'm saying? Everything from his rivalry with John Cena over the United States Championship, classic. His weird team up with Goldust. His rivalry with Triple H over the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 19, golden. Only if only WWE pulled the trigger on Triple H and let Booker walk away with the World Heavyweight title. You know what I'm saying? If only. But, I'm indifferent to that match, you know what I'm saying? Because things eventually worked out for the better for both their careers. You know what I'm saying? Booker T also had a nice team up with Rob Van Dam too. You know what I'm saying? But if I had to give guesses to my favorite versions of Booker, it would have to be when he's feuding with Kurt Angle, which was his idea because that gave birth to creepy Perk Angle that we all make fun of him for. More on that in a moment. But yeah, man. But the best version of Booker T, it's King Booker, dude. King Booker was Pete Booker T to me. Oh hell, King Booker, my royal subjects, my lovely Queen Shamel. That dude was on one when he was King Booker, I swear. But yeah, man, Booker T, forever a legend, forever icon. You know what I'm saying? He gave young black children like me some hope. If I ever wanted to be a wrestler, that I have a fair shot at being successful at it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Booker T. Part of me wishes that he would have won the World Heavyweight Championship more than once, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? SmackDown needed a prime heel since JBL was not actively wrestling at the point, and Booker T, King Booker, fulfilled that role. So yeah, gotta love Booker T. And like, did I need to forget to mention that he's also a 5-time WCW champion? Anyway, moving forward, number 22. Number 22. This guy is severely underrated. Not only for his wrestling, but his mic skills. And he has one of the dopest theme songs of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you, hailing from Toronto, Christian, a.k.a. Captain Charisma. Dude, Christian, like, we will all remember him as part of Edge and Christian, one half of Edge and Christian, one of the greatest tag teams of all time. That's how most of you remember him. But if you were paying attention to his singles runs as the IC champion, where like he had a case to want to be part of the main event scene, just WWE's main event scene was still too loaded at the time. But when he came back in 2009, I was 100% going to be a Christian fan, because originally what Vince had in the workings is that he was going to be the person to screw Jeff Hardy out of the WWE Championship instead of Matt Hardy being the one to do that. But some idiot leaked it on a radio show, which caused him to force an audible. And if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have had the greatest Christian run ever. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't have never had that if it wasn't for that dude leaking that stuff. You know what I'm saying? This dude carried ECW. Like, shortly after Matt Hardy decided to, you know, go to SmackDown to be with his brother Jeff, Christian signs in early January. Christian signs in early January, debuts later that month, and has his first match in February against Jack Swagger and gives Jack Swagger his very first loss. And that was the beginning of Christian's best run. Because this dude carried ECW on his back. Because think about it, Jack Swagger, he was a decent wrestler, but he was not great on the mic. Christian had the mic skills and the wrestling. Down pat. Down pat. You know what I'm saying? And then also, Christian also had the better physicality. I'm going to just be honest. You know what I'm saying? No Diddy on that one, my man. No Diddy on that one. But yeah, man. And then, like, you know, Christian also, you know, made, you know, talent that was, you know what I'm saying, not even close to being as good on his level better. You know what I'm saying? With his, like, you know what I'm saying, way how he sells stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he was going on with, like, I think it was, who was it? I think he was going one-on-one with, you know what I'm saying, Tommy Dreamer, who was 37 years old at the time. You know what I'm saying? And, like, he took all his moves pretty good. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, he was a perfect person to help Tommy Dreamer get a last ECW championship run before his contract eventually would, you know what I'm saying, expire, and Zack Ryder would have to, like, give it up. You know what I'm saying? And then, also, I have to also give him a nod for him making Ezekiel Jackson look good on the last episode of ECW. WWE finally pulled the trigger on it and was like, you know what, we're going to give Ezekiel this because it's the last episode of ECW, and the guy isn't very good on the mic, so we don't have to waste promote him, so we're going to let Ezekiel Jackson just have the last ECW championship run. But yeah, man. And then when he got moved to SmackDown after ECW got canceled, he had one of the greatest feuds ever with Randy Orton. One of the greatest feuds ever with Randy Orton over the World Heavyweight Championship. It was a good trilogy of matches. One of them, Christian won the belt back because Christian spit in Randy's face, which led him to kick him in the balls. That was funny. But he would eventually end up losing that belt in SummerSlam that year in a great no-holds-barred match. You know what I'm saying? And he would go linger around the mid-card a little while, you know what I'm saying, until he finally left for the second time. But I also must admit, he had some decent feuds in his first run, too. Like, I really do like the love triangle story with him, Chris Jericho, and Trish Stratus. You know what I'm saying? I thought that storyline was amazing. But overall, Christian put a price on himself, and he won, because it took him going to TNA for WWE to see the value in him as a main eventer, because that's where Christian became a main eventer first. So, yeah, man. Going to number 21. Well, let's just keep it one stack, man. You saw him in my last video I did for wrestling. And he's big. Real big. It's the Big Show. Now, the reason why I put him in here, same reason I put him in underrated, is like, he is so good at making talent shorter than him look stronger. You know?
Hear me and hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
Try it. Try it. Try it.
That shit is fucking trash, dog. Get the fuck off the airwaves.
Oh, hell no.
You know what I'm saying? He is so good at that. Like, regardless if it's John Cena, regardless if it's Triple H, regardless if it's, you know, Undertaker, regardless if it's, he even made Jeff Hardy look strong, because I remember, like, Jeff Hardy's first match as WWE Champion was against Big Show, and he lost very good by countout. You know what I'm saying? Like, heck, he even made Drew McIntyre look good. You know what I'm saying? Because Drew McIntyre defended the WWE Championship against him after he won it from Brock Lesnar. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, even when he jobbed to Floyd Mayweather, and then like, even when he like accidentally lost the tables match, he lost the Intercontinental Championship in the tables match to Cody Rhodes after Cody Rhodes kicked him in the face. But yeah, man, it's just how he just puts, you know, small talent. He even made The Rock look strong a little time. Like, remember, he was the first dude eliminated in the Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 16. You know what I'm saying? Heck, he even, like, one low point though, I did not like seeing him in that thong at WrestleMania 21. I didn't really care for that. But if I had to pick a version of Big Show that I like so much, it would have to be his version from 2008 to 2013, to when he was like, the WMD was booked very strong. You know what I'm saying? Like, that knockout punch was like, dang near, like, it's like several grades below the punt kick for how severe it is. Wow! You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember one time Mark Henry was in Taylor Long's office, and then Big Show was over there trying to beg Mark Henry for a title shot, and then Mark Henry's like, I don't need this from you. You could take your sovereign heavy breathing somewhere else. Like I was saying, then Big Show's decked him like, wow! But yeah, man. And then, like, even in the midst of that time, he also saved the tag team division from going to absolute shit around that time. Like, him and Chris Jericho. Didn't like his title run he had with The Miz, but I liked the one he had with Chris Jericho, because Jericho beat Show Miz any day of the week, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? My only problem with Big Show, he be turning alignments too quick. You know what I'm saying? He never stays a face for very long, and he never stays a heel for very long. Like, you just know at some point he's just going to turn and turn and turn and turn and turn. That's the only negative I have about Big Show's career. That and his match against Akibo at WrestleMania 21. Like, I don't want to talk about it anymore. But yeah, man. Shout out Big Show for what he does for business. He does what's right for business.
Try it.
Number 20. This wrestler was also in my other video. This wrestler was also in my last wrestling video. And he may be overrated, but I still like him to some degree. And I CM Punk. And I put this picture up here because this was when I was a legitimate CM Punk.
Try it. Try it.
This version.
Try it. Try it.
And I even was around when he did the vocal personality switch up. You know what I'm saying? But we all know this Fire Burns is arguably the better team. Arguably. They're both good teams. Yeah, man. Like, my thing is that I've been into CM Punk since his ECW days of him going up against
Come on, man.
John Morrison and Guerrero and Big Daddy V and all those guys. You know, being the ECW champion. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. I was definitely character. You know what I'm saying? Even though he didn't get over too hard until 2009. He got back to SmackDown and feuded with Jeff Hardy over the World Heavyweight Championship. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't that even, he didn't get his over as much, but even before then, I still respected, you know, what he had accomplished so far, because he had already been ECW champion. He won Money in the Bank and cashed in against Edge. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of my favorite Raw moments of all time, and won the World Heavyweight Championship. Lost it because of Randy Orton's punt kicking him in the head at Unforgiven 08, rendered him out for the scramble match to defend the title. But that was a blessing in disguise. More on that in a second. But, you know what I'm saying? After that, you know, he had a nice World Tag Team Championship reign with Kofi Kingston. You know what I'm saying? And he also had a great Intercontinental Championship feud with Riley and Regal. Considering that he, you know what I mean? He, you know, he lost by he won by disqualification, but William Regal kept the title. He lost by disqualification. You know what I'm saying? But by the third time they went at it for the Intercontinental, it was no DQ, and it was in his hometown of Chicago. And boy, was that crowd on his feet when CM Punk finally got it. He would lose it to JBL, like, I want to say weeks before WrestleMania, but yeah. Fact of the matter is, from mid-08 to like early 09, when he was a face, I was into CM Punk. And then, like, my respect for him kind of soared when he turned heel, you know what I'm saying, against Jeff Hardy. And, like, I personally hated him, but I still respected him, you know what I'm saying, because, you know what I'm saying, at the time, everybody was in love with Jeff Hardy, you know what I'm saying, but he had a great feud with him, you know what I'm saying, and then, like, his feuds with John Cena, Daniel Bryan, and Kane, and, you know what I'm saying, Ryback, and, you know what I'm saying, even Brock Lesnar, you know what I'm saying, all these feuds, The Rock, but, you know, you already know what keeps him from being high up on the list, man. His ego, bro, I'm sorry, and, like, people still think that he's just as good shape as he is as he was then in comparison to now. I don't think that he's the same CM Punk anymore. Move forward. Number 19. The whole damn show. Mr. Pay-Per-View. Say it with me, guys. Rob Van Dam. Oh, I love this. See this guy wrestle. Like, even past his prime, he still moves like he has those educated feet that JR speaks of, man. Like, I loved his entrance music.
Stay off the weed.
Come on, man. And like, dude, all the moves, everything from the Rolling Thunder to the handspring moonsault to the split-legged moonsault, the Van Daminator, the Van Terminator, you know what I'm saying, and Mopper, and everybody's favorite, the 5-star frog splash, the monkey flips, the wheel kicks, all of that, man. Like, bro, RVD is one of the most exciting wrestlers you can just flick on the TV on and just be captivated by, and your eye will be so glued to the screen you won't even think about turning twice, because before you know it, RVD's going to pull some amazing spot that'll make your head spin. Like, I remember one time he took a pile driver from Tommy Dreamer, and he bounced himself off of the mat to make it look like he took it hard. Yeah. But yeah, man. I feel like if RVD's mic skills were sharpened back in like 02, 03, I feel like since the fans were feeling him a lot, I feel like he would have been a great candidate for them to give the World Heavyweight Championship to. But the problem was he couldn't stay off the weed. So yeah, man. But overall, man, I think RVD is, you know what I'm saying, definitely deserves his flowers. Especially the work he would go on to do in TNA, you know what I'm saying? Like, not saying that's my favorite version of him, because, you know, my favorite version of him is his, you know what I'm saying, his 06 through 07 self up until he got busted for the weed, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, RVD was on top of the world at that point, because, like, this dude had the WWE and the ECW belts. And, like, dude, people were booing John Cena at One Night Stand when RVD won the belt. Like, people were booing him before he won. Like, you couldn't tell me RVD could be the nod. But, yeah, man. He's also one of the most underrated Intercontinental champions of his time, too. And, like, multiple-time World Tag Champ, man. I think he was also in a tag team with Rey Mysterio, too. You know what I'm saying? It's fire. His tag team with Mysterio is fire. Like, it's time on SmackDown, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he's underrated, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody talks about it. Everybody knows him from his Raw runs, but his SmackDown runs, you know what I'm saying, don't even get talked about. But yeah, man, RVD is a legend in his own right, you know. He deserves to be the, you know what I'm saying, the Mr. Pay-Per-View, you know what I'm saying? And he definitely is one of a kind, man. Shout out Robin and them. He's definitely should be a Hall of Famer. If he's not already a Hall of Famer in TNA, he should be, but I know he's WWE Hall of Famer, and it took him too long. It took WWE too long to put this dude in the Hall of Fame. But yeah, man. One of the funniest RVD moments was when he made fun of Triple H for how he spits up that water. He was like, I've never seen nobody spit up water as good as you do, Triple H. When he thought he was about to give him respect for what he does in the ring, he just turns around and just trolls Triple H. That was funny. Anyway, shout out RVD, man. All right, winding down number 18. We got Matt Hardy. I have to put him here. Like, if this was a tag teams list, him and his brother would definitely be in the top 5 for sure. Don't know which position. They definitely be the top 5. But Matt Hardy, I feel like he doesn't get enough appreciation for not only his mic skills, but his technical work and his creative genius. And that's why every gimmick from the man who will not die to the broken gimmick and to Big Money to my personal favorite, Matt Hardy, V1. I love that gimmick. This dude was literally cutting weight so he could perform with the cruiserweight, bro. That was funny, bro. All the training videos and the diet videos had me dying, man. And this dude would come out and have his website thumbnail, and it would reveal a lot of Mattitude facts. This dude was a complete and utter class act, man. But yeah. And then, like, let's not forget, he's one half of the second realest feud in wrestling history. Y'all know what that is, right? Him versus Edge and Lita. And I have to put Lita because Lita definitely cheated on this man. You know what I'm saying? And, like, Matt was pissed because it was happening while he was at home recovering from, I think it was like, was it a torn ACL or a torn meniscus? I'm not sure what it was, but he definitely was home recovering from an injury. You know what I'm saying? And, like, the fact that, you know, Edge moved in on her and it was shortly after, like, I want to say it was like a bit before and during the divorce and all that. I'm like, this is so slimy. Because, you know, Edge was married at a point, but I'm like, man, Edge is a slime ball for that. And, like, dude, the fact that John Laurinaitis fired him for going on Bite This and exposing Matt Hardy, I'm like, bro, what the hell? Like, and everybody was like, we want Matt. And we all did. And, like, bro, when he came back and feuded with Edge, stuff a legend right there. Stuff a legend. Did not like how he lost the last match of their feud, forcing him to go to SmackDown. But, you know, they had to do that because the working environment was definitely chaotic for all parties involved in this. So, yeah, man. But apart from that, I did like his ECW championship run. I did 100% love and appreciate that. Because, like, it didn't take Jeff to eventually win the WWE championship, and they both end up being champions. You know what I'm saying? A lot on SmackDown. And I'm going up against Edge and Big Show. You know what I'm saying? That's also one of my favorite Hardy Boys matches. You know what I'm saying? But if I had to make a favorite singles match for him, I would have to say it's between his United States Championship match against MVP, his WrestleMania 19 match against Rey Mysterio, and then, like, the steel cage match against Edge where he twisted Fate Lita. Those are my top 3 right there. Those are my top 3. But yeah, man, shout out Matt Hardy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Definitely only one Matt Hardy, version 1.0. Man. Number 17. He's billed as a Minnesota native, but he lives in Canada and he grew up on South Dakota lands, but I got to give him my respect because he's an ex-Viking. It's Brock freaking Lesnar. This guy is a freak of nature. We all know this. This guy, he look at him, 295 pounds of pure manliness, pure pumping. You know what I'm saying? Pure ironing, pure chiselness. The guy's an anomaly, like we all used to call him to be. You know what I'm saying? Like he's one of them ones. Excuse me. He's definitely one of those ones. Like we can't even hack it. Despite how much we rag on him about how limited his moveset is now, we have to definitely give him his respect for, you know, what he does for the business. Like when WWE was going through a rut in the middle of the PG reality era, him coming back in 2012 made headline after headline after headline. Like, dude, when he came back after WrestleMania 20, I'm like, what? After 8 years, he's back? What? Oh my God! And then he tries to shake down Cena's hand, but then he F5s him, and I'm like, dang man, dang man. He didn't have to F5 him like that, but I'm like, if that's the way you make a return, I mean, what better way than to, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like he's definitely one of the best, like, pure athletes to ever grace the WWE ring, like hands down, like, and I had to put a picture of him, you know what I'm saying, in between his first 2 runs because like his very first run being on top of the main event in SmackDown, where he was running shit in SmackDown, and his feuds with Kurt Angle and Big Show and Undertaker and John Cena definitely was like part of the peak era of SmackDown, and him losing the belt to Eddie Guerrero the way that he did was cinematic in itself. You know what I'm saying? His first one was soured by that Goldberg match, but like I said earlier, they made up for it. You know what I'm saying? But another high point for Brock Lesnar is when he destroyed Super Cena, and because of that, he made Cena go to the mid card and, you know what I'm saying, be a U.S. champion and do that open challenge. Like, it was a blessing in disguise, for real, for real.
My client.
Shout out Brock Lesnar. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. I would have to say he has a lot of dud matches, but if I had to give one match my favorite, it's definitely his WrestleMania 19 match against Kurt Angle. That, in my opinion, is his best match ever, despite the botch shooting star press almost making him like break his neck. He had a concussion though, which, you know what I'm saying, I agree with Taz on the commentary on there where he said, I don't know how Brock Lesnar isn't dead. We didn't know either. You know what I'm saying? But that match right there was a technical classic because the fact that both of them had to take the next week off because they was hurt after that and they battled through injuries to finish that match, and, you know, Brock had to lose his memory, had messed around and lost some of his memory after that match, man. Speaks volumes of what kind of a beast that Brock Lesnar is. So yeah, man. Shout out Brock, man. Number 16. I'll give you a hint. He's a very, very, very bad animal. Batista. Now, Batista, he started off as a deacon for Brother Devon, but when he got to Evolution, we got to see way more of him, and I'm glad we did. Like, this dude was like the big muscle, like, you know, because Evolution's gimmick was wrestling's past, which is Ric Flair wrestling's present, which is Triple H and wrestling's future, which is Batista and Randy Orton, despite Batista being, geez, I don't know, 6 months older than Triple H. But yeah, man. Batista is one of the spearheads of the ruthless aggression era that we all grown to love. Like, this guy, there was hardly anything dislikable about him, you know what I'm saying, apart from his affiliation with Triple H. Like, how he was properly booked in 2005 was peak Batista. Like, everything from him winning the Royal Rumble match to him in 2005 to him, you know what I'm saying, teasing to get the World Heavyweight Championship on his own at New Year's Revolution long before that. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, him listening in on Triple H and Ric Flair making fun of him behind his back. You know what I'm saying? And him, you know what I'm saying, picking in between, you know what I'm saying, to stay on Raw and challenge for the World Heavyweight and to be on SmackDown and challenge for the WWE Championship. Him picking in between the two, teasing. Like, he throws the Raw contract down. And then he looks at Triple H and Ric Flair and gives him the thumbs up. And then he frowns and then gives him the thumbs down. And then before you know it, he slams the contract down, the SmackDown contract down. And then he, like, disposes of Ric Flair very quick. And then he powerbombs Triple H through the table. And then he picks up the Raw contract and signs it. He picks up the Raw contract and then he signs it. You know what I'm saying? And then he tells him, I'm staying right here on Raw. And I'm challenging you for the World Heavyweight Championship. And he throws the mic down.
Give me what I want.
This is the greatest moment in Raw history.
Give me what I want!
The match itself was pretty good, though. Like, you know, Triple H bled for Batista to put him over real good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I loved it. I love seeing every moment of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, him and John Cena winning these belts respectively, stuff of legend right there. Stuff of legend.
Batista is down.
Yeah, man.
Batista
Like, ever
is
since
down.
then, ever since him and Triple H,
Batista is down.
Backlash cage match, Batista was on top in terms of SmackDown because he was only second behind John Cena. But like, this dude, man, he took on every challenge, and it wasn't no Mickey Mouse BS either. You know what I'm saying? He had the record for the longest reign as a world heavyweight champion. He had the record for the longest reign as a world heavyweight champion for a reason. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and then like I must also say, the version of him that turned heel in 2009, hilarious because this dude lost a fatal 4-way match, and he like pretty much dominated Rey Mysterio. He was choking him. He was like, he's supposed to be my friend. Freaking hilarious. And then Rey was like, Dave, please, man, we can work this out, man. Dave, please. And they threw him. He was like, ah. And then like every single week he would demand the spotlight. He would just demand everybody just put their attention on him. He was like, everywhere I look, I see money, dollar signs, dollar signs, dollar signs. And then like, what was the real nail in the coffin?
Give me what I want.
He was like, so.
Give me what I want.
And Ray was like, what about Eddie? Eddie wouldn't want this, man. And then Batista was like, Eddie's dead, Ray. Oh, he was definitely the big villain there, but Batista kind of felt sour about saying that. But still, it was great writing. You know, God bless the dead, of course, but still, it was great writing, man. But yeah, man, Batista will go down as one of the best world heavyweight champions we've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? His feud with Randy Orton when he was on Raw was pretty solid too, over the WWE Championship until he got injured. You know what I'm saying? And then like, even when he like first came back, he was booked strong because he won the Royal Rumble, despite the fans not agreeing with it. I was one of them, but still, we still ended up getting one of the best triple threat matches of all time. So yeah, shout out Batista. You ended your career on a great note too, losing to Triple H finally. That was the only win Triple H ever got against Batista. But anyway, moving on. Number 15. This guy's a monster. A big red one. Kane. Now, everything from his monstrous Hellfire debut to him when he
Kane from this version to when he first got unmasked, perfectly fine with. Kane after 2006, Kane from 2007 and up. Get him out of here, coach. Get him out of here.
Hear me and hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
Try it.
did the Kane Rooney, him from his comedic outbursts, everything from when he first took his mask off and started terrorizing people like Eric Bischoff and Linda McMahon, RVD. Dude, this dude even tombstoned a priest. And then like Kane also, you know what I'm saying, impregnated Lita too. Oh, this was good. Kane was good TV regardless of like, you know what I'm saying, ruthless aggression, early PG. He was good TV. I swear to goodness, he was good TV. And like this dude also performed the greatest choke slam ever. Like hands down. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I would have to say Pete Kane was from when he like first took off his mask up until like around like early 06 when he teamed up with Big Show. That's Pete Kane to me. Because past that, like he started having dud rivalry after dud rivalry, dud feud after dud feud. Still maintained his big red monster character, but like, everything from his feud with Great Khali, not that memorable. I did like it when he teamed up with Undertaker on SmackDown when he got drafted to SmackDown in mid 07, but well, after WrestleMania 22, shortly thereafter. But other than that, apart from him winning Money in the Bank and beating Rey Mysterio for the World Heavyweight Championship and him having one last feud with Undertaker before Undertaker would go on his only appearing at WrestleMania run, it's Kane, bro. It's Kane. And at a point, he also held the record for most competitors eliminated at the Royal Rumble. But yeah, if I had to pick a favorite match of Kane's, it would have to be his like, it would have to be between his Inferno match with the Undertaker. That was very good. And then I would also have to pick out his. I would also have to pick out his matches against Edge for Lita. You know what I'm saying? And then like, I also like his I also think that his match against Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 18 is severely underrated too. But yeah, man. Shout out Big Red Machine Kane.
The match against Shane was probably his best one. Because Shane gonna go balls to the wall. But Kane being unmasked and unhinged, peak cinema. Peak cinema.
Hey, Kane for president. That's all I'm gonna say. Kane for president. All right, coming in at 14. This is considerably low, but remember, it's not a GOAT list. It's my list. You guys know him as a showstopper. But for me, he's just Shawn Michaels. The Heartbreak Kid, the icon, the main event, Mr. WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels. Like, dude, a lot of people like to debate if his 96 he was in the main event championship or his 2007 he's putting out banger after banger. You ask me, 2000 Shawn Michaels is the best version of him. And it's not even close. What matches, apart from that amazing ladder match with Razor Ramon and his matches against Steve Austin and Bret Hart at 2 consecutive WrestleManias before he blew his back out, no diddy. Other than those matches, other than those 3, what could compete with his amazing matches with Kurt Angle at WrestleMania and at Vengeance? His 2-match storyline with Undertaker from 25 and 26 and in between. What could compete against that? And his amazing classic matches with Chris Jericho, since from WrestleMania 19 to Unforgiven 08 to No Mercy 08. What other matches from his past could compete with those? If you're dead silent, I understand. You know what I'm saying? Even his match against John Cena at WrestleMania 23 was awesome, despite John Cena no-selling that leg. But yeah, man. And then, like, bro, he's 1/3 of the greatest triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship in history. And then, oh yeah, I gotta mention this. Yo, what other matches from his 90s self could compete with his banger against Ric Flair for his career? What other ones? Need I say more?
Let's just say what really needs to be said. Who really fucking with Shawn Michaels? Like, really, who? Like who really fucking with Shawn Michaels in the ring? Who's fucking with Shawn Michaels in the ring? Undertaker? No. CM Punk? No. Goddamn, who? Triple H? No. The Rock? No. Stone Cold? No. I can keep this ball going. There is nobody that can past, present, and future that is fucking with Shawn Michaels career-wise in that ring. I gotta say this. I'm tired of y'all comparing Seth Rollins to this man. Until Seth Rollins start putting on 5-star matches, until Seth Rollins can put on as many 5-star matches as this man could, I don't want to hear it. Stop comparing that man. They is not the same, bro. It's night and day between Seth Rollins and Shawn Michaels. It's night and fucking day, bro. Shawn Michaels can run circles around Seth Rollins in that ring. In his prime, Shawn Michaels in his prime will run circles around Seth Rollins. Whether you choose the 90s Shawn Michaels or the 2000s Shawn Michaels, there's nobody that could Seth can't do shit with this man. They'll put on a banger for sure, but Shawn Michaels gonna be there's a reason they call him the showstopper. There's a reason they call him Mr. WrestleMania. The man earned these nicknames for a reason. They weren't just given to him on some random Vince McMahon shit. He earned these names. Okay? Stop comparing them. This is the equivalent of comparing Chris Brown to Michael Jackson. Not in the same category, bro. Not even in the same category.
Say more. And not to mention, this dude made a fool out of Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam 05. Like, y'all remember how he was overselling everything, proving how overrated Hulk Hogan was? Yeah, Hulk Hogan won the match, but Shawn Michaels did that to prove a point. And the point was very well driven home. Like, Hulk is only as good as his competitors make him out to be, man. But yeah, man, shout out Shawn Michaels. Arguably the GOAT, one of the most versatile wrestlers of all time, period. But yeah, man. And if I had to pick a best out of all those amazing matches I watched with him in it, it's him versus Taker at 25. Because I felt like if anybody should have broke the streak, it either should have been him or Triple H. Not Brock. Anyway, coming in at number 13. I know I feel like I'm taking forever, but I promise I'm going to speed up. This wrestler is very controversial. I love him as a wrestler regardless. It's Chris Benoit. A lot of you guys are very, 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 you know, feather ruffled by the mentioning of this guy, but I'm gonna say some things in a positive light about him that you may or may not agree with, and that's totally fine. But as long as y'all don't get y'all panties in a bunch about him, now remember, I'm not promoting what he allegedly did, and I say allegedly because we don't know 100% what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like anything could have happened in that house over that terrible weekend in June of '07. Anything could have happened. But I'm not gonna get into that. What I am gonna get into and him alongside my previous teammate Shawn Michaels are the only Royal Rumble entrants to win it from spot number 1 and last throughout the whole entire Rumble. Like legitimate. Like this dude, you know what I'm saying, multiple time IC champ, multiple time Intercontinental champ, but he's arguably one of the greatest United States champions of all time, definitely in the top 5. Because like when he held that United States belt, it had some purpose to it. Everything from his rivalries with Orlando Jordan to Booker T to even my favorite rivalry, you know what I'm saying, for the US belt, him and MVP. That was a great series between those two. It was a great series from Mania 23 up until, you know what I'm saying, he got traded to ECW. You know what I'm saying? Like, great feuds. And the fact that this dude was a double champion holding the World Tag Team and the World Heavyweight, amazing. I love the title defense against Kane, too. And the fact that they ran it back for Backlash, the triple threat from WrestleMania 20, and it was still a banger match because it was in his home country of Canada. I felt like Chris Benoit was one of the perfect guys to put an end to Triple H's reign of terror because of how over he was. Now, granted, he wasn't all that gifted on the mic, but his ability to be a pure wrestler, like if I had to make a list of pure, like legit wrestlers, Chris Benoit was going in the top 5. Everything from the Germans to the chops to the suplexes to the crisper crossfaces to the diving headbutts to the sharpshooters. Dog, this dude could do it all. Like he even could dive through the ropes. I remember when he took a tumble against Booker T, man, and almost messed up his back. But yeah. But if I had to give a nod to one of his most underrated matches, it would be that triple threat tag team match in WrestleMania 19 where it was him and Rhino going up against Los Guerreros, Chavo and Eddie, and Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, who were the WWE Tag Team Champions at the time, representing Team Angle. That match was a banger. Everybody showed up and showed out for that match. If y'all gonna watch WrestleMania 19, do not skip past that. Because Chris Benoit and Eddie, you know what I'm saying? Eddie did his thing too. Like everybody did their thing in that match. Like one of my favorite spots was when Chris had Eddie off the top of the rope, and then he jumped off to do that superplex. Like, and he landed all the way halfway across the ring, bro. And then he like grasped his neck because, you know, he still has been healing from that neck injury because he missed WrestleMania 18 because he hurt his neck in later on, which also made him miss the Invasion storyline. But yeah, man, there will be no. I don't think there will ever be another wrestler like the Crippler himself, Chris Benoit. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the most gifted wrestlers I've ever witnessed firsthand. And I am glad to have lived through a period where I could just see him, you know what I'm saying, get out there and just put on a show. But yeah, man. And if it wasn't for Eddie dying, who knows what could have happened to Chris Benoit? Who knows what could have happened to his wife and son? Who knows? If Eddie doesn't die in 05. But yeah, man. Rest in peace, Crippler. Rest in peace, Chris Benoit. Rest in peace, Nancy. Rest in peace, Danny. Anyway. Number 12. I know this is going to be considerably low for you, some of you guys, but I didn't gravitate towards him as much as you guys did. Because there was another guy in the Attitude Era that I gravitated towards. Actually, 2 more, but we'll get to those in a bit. But regardless, Stone Cold Steve Austin is still one of the GOATs. Like, you can't lie. Like, he's still one of the GOATs. Like, this dude, he started the Attitude Era very strong. But it was soured and marred by him joining the Alliance. That was a low point. And then even before that, Vince turned him heel at the most inopportune time. Like, why would you turn him heel in his home state of Texas in the middle of WrestleMania after he wins the belt? Nobody's going to boo. It doesn't work. Come on, Vince. But yeah, dang. What else I was going to say? Yeah. They also, if he didn't get injured so much toward the tail end of his career, he definitely would like be cemented as number 1. Some of y'all have him as number 1. Me, like, he's in the top 5. If I had to make an unbiased goal list, Steve is going in my top 5. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you can't hack him. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think he won the WWF title 6 times. Like, y'all remember the Smoker Skull belt? You know what I'm saying? His feuds with Mike Tyson, Shawn Michaels, and my favorite feud, The Rock. But everybody's most iconic feud from this guy is when he went against Mr. McMahon. And it worked because everybody has that one boss in their life that they just want to kick their shit out. And Steve Austin represented a version of ourselves that we wish we could get to, but we don't want to because we don't want to lose our jobs. And the fact that Vince was screwing him over and over and over again just made him that more pissed off. But yeah, man, the reason why I had him so low, like I said, injuries. But if I had to pick a favorite match, you know what I'm saying, out of all his matches, in my personal opinion, man, I would have to say his match against The Rock at WrestleMania 19, which would have been his permanent retirement match if he didn't come out to go against Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. I think it was 38, 39, one of those two. WrestleMania 38. Yeah, it was WrestleMania 38. If he didn't come out of retirement at WrestleMania 38, he definitely would have just, you know what I'm saying, ended his career on a high note and putting over one of his greatest rivals of all time. But regardless, nonetheless, the Stone Cold Stunner is one of the greatest finishers of all time, by the way. You know what I'm saying? You can't get mad at Steve Austin for that, man. But yeah, man, shout out Stone Cold, man. Still a GOAT. He had one very goated theme song, one very underrated. know what I'm saying? The one by Rob Zombie. But regardless of the fact, we still love him because he's a superstar we all love to hate. Ladies and gentlemen, the master manipulator himself, the ultimate opportunist, the rated R superstar Edge. Now, I did like him as a part of Edge Christian. Like he had some talent in the ring, but he was very, very funny on the microphone. And then like I said, his rivalry with Matt Hardy took him to all new heights. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for that and him getting paired up with Lita, he definitely, man, wouldn't have made it so far as to be a main event talent. And him cashing in on John Cena, we couldn't have been madder at him. But in hindsight, I grew to appreciate like WWE capitalized off of all the heat that Edge was getting. And John Cena needed, somebody on his level on the heel side of Raw to compete with. And Edge was still getting the most heat after what he did to Matt Hardy. It made perfect sense. Like, Edge is, in my opinion, a top 3 heel of all time. You know what I'm saying? If we're counting wrestlers. If we're counting all sorts of talent, he's definitely... No, Edge, no, watch out! And the fact that he was always the guy that screwed your favorite wrestler over after that, dubbing himself the older opportunist. Like, he screwed over Undertaker. Screwed over John Cena. Screwed over Jeff Hardy. You know what I'm saying? Screwed over Kofi Kingston. Shoot. It almost got to a point where what wrestler hasn't he screwed over? Has he screwed over Batista? I don't know. I don't think he has. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. He would always screw over whoever was the top baby.
He screwed over Batista. I think it was that Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Batista, and Edge was the cameraman, and he beat the shit out of both. He beat the shit out of both Undertaker and Batista.
Babyface on the brand. You know what I'm saying? He was the perfect guy to do that, man. And like that's also conducive to his record of holding the World Heavyweight Championship a record 7 times. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude was title hungry. This dude was, you know what I'm saying, storyline of course, not real life, smashing Vicky Guerrero while she was the general manager so that way he could get title opportunity after title opportunity. And then like once she lost the general manager position, she was like, I want a divorce because I basically married you for your power. When you were going out with me, people thought you were my mom. Stuff a legend, bro. Stuff a legend. But yeah, man. That's how Edge will forever go down. But if I had to pick a favorite moment for me from Edge, it's when he returned at the 2010 Royal Rumble. Like, and I knew that he had to win at that point because you don't do a big return like that after a devastating Achilles injury and not win the Royal Rumble. You knew he had to win that, bro. Like, I remember watching live and I was jumping out and like, oh, it's Edge, bro. It's freaking Edge, bro. Man. And then, like, you felt for Shawn Michaels after he got eliminated, but you kind of knew he was going to get eliminated and he was super kicking everybody after he stupidly super kicked Edge back into the ring. You know what I'm saying? He had to do that. And then, like, him and John Cena were the last 2 guys. And then he just happened to throw Cena over the top rope to win. And I'm like, dude, this is Edge's best moment right here. Apart from him, you know what I'm saying, stealing the WWE Championship from John Cena and stealing the WWE Championship from Triple H at Survivor Series 08, you know, after having Jeff Hardy ruled out. This is definitely his best moment right here. And then he would later do it all over again when he returned at the Royal Rumble 2020. With the whole dad beard and all that. Come up with a ripped ass physique, man. He didn't win that one. He would go on to win the next year's one after staying in a Rumble majority of the time. But man, he just peak cinema. And the fact that he didn't even...
Nah, the best moment for Edge was him returning at the 2020 Royal Rumble. Seeing him come back after the neck injury. That was by far that brought me back, bro. I was like, damn, he back? I thought he was done. What about his neck? He okay? He good to go? I guess. It's been some years now, so I guess. But great fucking moment.
even win a world title. He was just there to put other guys over. Speaks volumes. I don't watch AEW, and I hope he's having the time of his life, but he deserved the Hall of Fame status that he had acquired. You know what I'm saying? And I thought he was never going to wrestle again because of his spinal stenosis, too. You know what I'm saying? That definitely was a blow to my heart because I'm like, this dude was responsible for so much of my memories. Good ones and bad ones. But yeah, man. Ain't going to be another sleazeball radar superstar. Also, need I forget to mention, this dude fulfilled one of our biggest pipe dreams. Literally. No did he. This dude, after he won the WWE Championship, smashed Lita in the middle of the ring. Luckily, my cable remote had a last button, so I would switch between the Disney Channel and that, me and my older brother, so that way we couldn't get caught. It was all soured by Ric Flair and John Cena. Well, Ric Flair, he was funny. He was like, not only are you a bad champion, but you're also terrible in the sack. Now let me show you how it's done. And I'm like, Ric Flair, if you don't get your old Cena out of here, man, you probably took some Viagra before you got in that ring, man. And then John Cena I think he gave Lita the FU, but yeah, man.
He's a freaky ass nigga.
Jeff Hardy at WrestleMania X7, but I don't like to talk about WrestleMania X7 so much. It's an overrated WrestleMania in my opinion, but moving forward. And then, like, it's between him and the Money in the Bank and him cashing in for the number one Edge moment. But if I had to pick a number one Edge match, it's between his triple threat match with Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns was awesome. It definitely has a contending argument. His Unforgiven 06 match against John Cena is my favorite. And then if I had to pick one where he won, I would have to pick the Chamber match in 2009 where he knocked out Kofi Kingston and took his place. Because, like, he was not bent on losing. Like, you could tell by his body language in the match. Like, he was not geared to lose. But, yeah, man. We get into the top 10. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the wrestling machine himself, Kurt Angle. Now, granted, when I was younger in WWE, you know what I'm saying, I didn't pay as much attention to him. But when I noticed that he became the WWF champion in December is when I started really paying more attention to him. Although I will admit, his triple threat match with Jericho and Benoit for the Eurocontinental Championships in 2 falls was definitely underrated. But, like, Kurt Angle, in my opinion, is one of the greatest WWE wrestlers ever to not win the Royal Rumble. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like he should have, like, at least had a shot to win at least one. But the 2000s era WWE was too top heavy with a lot of talent. He was one of them. Like, regardless if Kurt Angle was the face or a heel, like, he's putting on a show. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude, like, whenever he took down his straps, like, he made me want to imitate that with my muscle shirts, but I didn't want to risk tearing them apart. So I had to realize, it took me years to realize that I actually need a singlet to do that, and I'm glad I do that. And I'm glad to say also that he's one of my favorite wrestlers to cosplay. If you don't know, I cosplay him from time to time on my, when I'm out at conventions, so you can definitely check that out. Some pictures of me cosplaying as Kurt Angle are on my Instagram, and then there's a video of me cosplaying as where I'm wearing one of his shirts and the singlet and the gold medal underneath. So yeah, you can definitely check that out too. But yeah, man, this guy, I love this guy's mic work too. Like, everything from him he says, it's true. It's damn true. To, nobody beats a wrestling machine. And then, like, him saying stuff like, Rey Mysterio wants to get in this ring, I'm going to get on top of you, and wait, no, right. Or the time where he was like, see, you're a boy. I'm a man. I'm a man that likes to play with boys. No, wait. He would say the most wild-ass shit on the mic. And we would just run with it because we know that's his being comic.
Hey, yo.
Oh, man. And then, like, oh, my God. Him creeping after Charmel. He was like, Booker, I'm going to have sex with your wife. But not that. Maybe because I'm talking about that bestiality sex. And I'm like, bro,
He's a freaky ass nigga.
this dude has no chill. Oh my Lord, I do it, but if you had to ask me what was peak Kurt Angle, man, if I had to pick a favorite match from his match against Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 21 takes the cake, like easily for me. Second behind that would have to be his match against Eddie Guerrero at WrestleMania 20. That was awesome, and like his SummerSlam 03 match against Brock Lesnar was amazing too. Like, it was just as good as his 19 match where he lost the title to him. Definitely, most definitely. And then, like, his match against Undertaker at No Way Out of 06. That's definitely up there too. Because 2006 Kurt Angle, when he was the wrestling machine, was peak Kurt Angle. When he had the mouth guard and, like, won a over-the-top rope battle royal to be the World Heavyweight Champion after throwing Mark Henry over the rope with his legs. Amazing. But yeah, man. World Heavyweight Championship Kurt Angle doesn't get talked about enough. But then again, it is a bit of Perk Angle, so maybe I should recant that statement. Yeah, I'm going to recant that statement because it was during his Perk Angle era. For those of you who don't know, Perk Angle was when he was high off of them painkillers, man. And it definitely held its course.
That was his best. That was his best era. That was peak Kurt Angle right there. Boy, let me tell you something. I didn't tune into TNA because they was on that fuck shit. Because Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff was running wild, turning TNA into WCW 2000 all over again. But Kurt Angle, bruh. Peak. Perk Angle, bruh.
In TNA too. So yeah, man, he definitely was a legend. Regardless if he was on Perk or not, man. Like, Kurt always gave 110% in the ring and on the mic, man. So that's why I'm glad he's a Hall of Famer, both WWE and TNA, man. So yeah, man. Remember, he was the man that held all the straps in TNA too, so he's a legend there too. So yeah, man, shout out Kurt Angle. The only real Olympic gold medalist to be a WWE champion. Yeah, man. Coming in at number 9, I'll give you a hint. He's a man that likes to jump out the sky. It's Rey Mysterio. He's arguably the greatest masked wrestler ever. He's the greatest masked wrestler ever. It's not even a debate, dude. Like, there is no disappointing when he comes in the ring. When he gets in the ring, you're in for a show. I can't think of really one bad match he was a part of, really. I can't think of one terrible match he was a part of. Maybe his match against Great Khali, because, Great Khali sucks, but yeah, like, this dude, like, every time we watched him, we was in for a great surprise because, like, he would do some whirly-dirly magical type shit. Like, this dude was, you know what I'm saying, otherworldly. And, like, the young fans loved him. Like, if you were a kid and you watched Rey Mysterio, you loved him. You wanted to get a mask. Like, I remember my brother had a Rey Mysterio mask, and I'm like, man, I want me one. He would let me wear it from time to time, but I would always have to give him back, and that made me kind of upset because I kind of felt like I was Rey Mysterio. But yeah, man, 619 is also one of the greatest finishers ever. But yeah, man. Although I do have to admit, if it wasn't for Eddie Guerrero dying, that main event push and him breaking the at the time the record for the longest time spent in the Rumble would have never been broken. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, man. Also, if Rey Mysterio, you know what I'm saying, I feel like if he didn't get like hurt so much in his later years, I feel like his goal case for peak wrestler would have been a bit stronger. But you know, the fact is, he's been a face his whole entire career, so that's been kind of, you know what I mean. But yeah, man. Regardless of the fact though, he's definitely one of the better talents on the roster. You know what I'm saying? Especially in terms of David and Goliath level storytelling. He's one of the best people to do that. I also like the angles that he has with his son nowadays and with that modern LWO. I love that. I would have to say peak Rey Mysterio was 03 to 06. That was peak Rey Mysterio from when he's up from when he was in the cruiserweight division up until he lost the World Heavyweight Championship. Actually, no. I'm gonna take that back. I also really liked his Intercontinental Championship runs too, because his 3-match feud with Chris Jericho, amazing. Him losing the belt to John Morrison, amazing. Him taking the belt off of JBL at WrestleMania earlier that year, amazing. But yeah, man. And his feud with Alberto Del Rio was good too. You know what I'm saying? But if I had to pick a favorite feud, it's him versus Eddie Guerrero over Dominic. Like, that stuff had me like on the edge of my seat because I never knew what him or Heel Eddie was going to say next.
Hey, yo!
Still never deserve Hall of Fame status for sure. But yeah, man. Coming in another number 8. Speaking of, here he comes. Latino Heat. Eddie Guerrero, man. Rest in peace, Eddie. First of all, rest in peace, Eddie. We loved him. We missed him. You know what I'm saying? Lying and cheating and stealing. He was a class act at that. Like, you just knew at a point Eddie was going to go up there and get a chair and throw it at them and pretend he's hurt, or if he had a title, throw the title against him and pretend he got hit. Or if his opponent had it, it doesn't matter. You knew he was going to pull some, you know what I'm saying, some dirty trick in the book to win his matches. You knew. You just had to be there, bro, for Eddie. You just had to be there, man. Everything from his antics with Chavo, him winning the WWE Championship from Brock Lesnar, him defending it against Kurt Angle, which is my 2 favorite matches from him, by the way. His feud with Rey Mysterio, you know what I'm saying? His last match against Mr. Kennedy, him beating his drug addiction to come back to WWE in 02. You know what I'm saying? Him having a love interest angle with China. You know what I'm saying? What's not to like about Eddie Guerrero? And my favorite thing, come on, bro. It's the lowriders he was coming in, man. Making all them hydraulics pumping and all that. Come on, man. That dude was a legend. You know what I'm saying? That dude is a legend, man. I miss Eddie. We all miss Eddie around here, man. Like, he's arguably the greatest luchador to ever live. And, like, he could work with anybody, small or big. That's what separated Eddie from all the rest. Like, Chavo wishes he couldn't leave his shadow. Like, that's the problem with Chavo. He was always remembered as the guy underneath Eddie's shadow. And he could never be as good as his Uncle Eddie here, man. And, like, dog, when Eddie Guerrero died, that was the very first celebrity death that connected with my heart, you know what I'm saying, since Aaliyah. You know what I mean? Like, that was like a good punch to the heart, you know what I'm saying? And, like, it was even harder too because he died in my hometown of Minneapolis. And my cousin Augusto, who you've seen on the channel a few times, man, he was in school crying, and he had tickets to go see that SmackDown, man, that very week. Tragic. But regardless, he'll still go down as one of the greatest ever do it. You know, first WWE United States champion. You know what I'm saying? Multiple time tag champ. Won the IC championship. Won the European championship. Got to be WWE champion.
Really miss my nigga.
I also love how selfless he was because he let JBL get the belt because, you know, the responsibility of him being champion was weighing on him. But yeah,
really miss my nigga. White people, you can sing it too. Just change that into a W.
Rest in peace.
Miss my wigger.
Number 7. If I had to make an unbiased goal list, this guy would be maybe top 3. Because this guy does more than break the walls down. It's Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho. Oh, man, what's not to like about this guy? He's very versatile. You know what I'm saying? Ayatollah, rock and roller, Y2J, best in the world at what he does. Like, there's a lot of people that get their style from Chris Jericho. CM Punk, Miz, a whole bunch of people, man. Like, there's a lot of modern day heels that get their swag from Chris Jericho. May not want to admit it on camera, but it's true. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, first undisputed champion. Come on, man. He was Chrissy 2 belts after beating Rock and Stone Cold in the same night. Didn't like a lot of people didn't like how he lost to Triple H at WrestleMania 18, including himself. But that's another discussion for another day. Had bangers of matches with Shawn Michaels. I would have to say one of his best, arguably his best match was the ladder match against him in No Mercy of 08. You know what I'm saying? He has the record for holding the Intercontinental Championship for 9 times. Like, he's the greatest Intercontinental Champion I've ever seen, hands down. Like, and then like, bruh, his version, his best in the world or what he does gimmick from September 08 to up until he left, peak Jericho. Like, dude, everything he did from where he would call us fans parasites and hypocrites and sycophants and all sorts of super duper smarty art words to make him come off like he's a legitimate genius. All that stuff is stuff of legend right there, man. Like, you can't say that wasn't peak Jericho. You know what I'm saying? And then like he like I said earlier, he helped Big Show save the tag team division. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, he stood toe to toe with Shaq in the ring, and he was like, when they told me that the most dominant player in the NBA was coming here, I thought they would have been talking about Kobe Bryant. Yeah, man, you gotta love Chris Jericho. You know what I'm saying? Also, during this era of Chris Jericho, like, he saved Jeff Hardy from getting injured. You know what I mean? But yeah, he definitely has had some low points past that peak Chris Jericho. Like him losing to Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 33. I think that was a low point because, you know, Jericho was supposed to win. I would say him putting Fandango over. Like, he's never won WrestleMania as a face. It's always when he was a heel. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that I didn't care for. You know what I'm saying? In terms of Chris Jericho's booking. You know what I'm saying? He's having the time of his life at AEW right now, but, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of how long he takes to retire, he still will go down as one of the GOATs. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Chris Jericho. Shout out Chris Jericho. He should have won the Royal Rumble in 2012. That's another thing I'm mad at WWE about post-Prime Jericho. Should have won the Royal Rumble. But they didn't want to pull the trigger. Yeah, man. And the fact that he's never won a Money in the Bank, despite him being the person that invented it, is egregious. Oh, yeah, also, he beat Goldberg one-on-one in a real-life fist fight. So, yeah, man. Number 6, I'm going to try to zoom through these as quick as I can. Number 6, we got Triple H. I mean, come on, it's Triple H. You know what I'm saying? 14-time world champ. Come on, man. Multi-time IC champ. You know what I'm saying? The current chief executive officer and front runner of WWE and talent. You know what I mean? The current, you know what I'm saying, man behind the curtain. You know what I mean? With his long-term storytelling. You know what I'm saying? This dude also committed the Reign of Terror. You know what I'm saying? He also was the champion during the McMahon-Helmsley era, putting over The Rock gracefully while Steve Austin was still injured. Starting another rivalry with Austin after revealing that he was the one that paid Rikishi to take him out. You know what I'm saying? One of the greatest heels ever. Like, this dude was a menace. Like, he forced Stephanie to marry him after drugging her. This dude committed necrophilia with Kane's ex-girlfriend. This dude was racist toward Booker T. Like, this dude was the ultimate villain. He was a backstabber, too. Like, he backstabbed Randy Orton after he won the world title. This dude was a straight-up menace. He turned his back on Ric Flair, too. You know what I'm saying? I did like the DX reunions, both of them, even though the first one was squandered by him tearing his quads. But I loved it when he impersonated Vince and Shawn Michaels impersonated Shane. That was the funniest shit ever. But yeah, man. And dude, who could forget when he broke through Randy Orton's house with a sledgehammer? Stuff of legend right there. And if I had to pick one favorite match of his, I'm not gonna lie, it's him and Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania 28. And then right behind that is the match from the previous year. Even though WrestleMania 28 sucked, Undertaker, Triple H, and No Holds Barred carried the show for me. Yeah, man. Shout out Triple H, man. And also, the pedigree is one of the greatest finishers of all time. Coming in at number 5. Another guy I would put in my top 5 if I'd made an unbiased goal list. John Cena. Reason why? His effort kept the WWE running while it was at a low point during the PG era. And a lot of people blame him for burying, you know what I'm saying, some undeserving talent. But, you know what I'm saying, if Vince doesn't see you ready and the fans are not feeling you, his name is John Cena! Like, I don't think Vince was really ready to be in that limelight. And I don't think Ryback would ever reach that amount. You know what I'm saying, of hype and all that. And I don't think, you know what I'm saying, pretty much everybody up until, like, the Shield started debuting and other NXT stylists started debuting, I didn't see them as ready to be in the limelight. You know what I mean? But yeah, John Cena tied Ric Flair's record. You know what I'm saying? He's arguably a GOAT. He's arguably the GOAT, you know what I'm saying, for lack of a better term, arguably the number one guy. Like, he kept things up and running for WWE, like, regardless if he goes out and comes back or if he does a longevity run of him putting over other talent. Like, it's John Cena, bro. Like, kids liked him. Adults hated him, loved him at a point, but they grew to hate him. But me, I never hated John Cena. Like, I was still a John Cena stan. Me and my cousin, we stand him. Like, dude, he has a platinum rap record, dog. And without him, this Spinner Championship wouldn't exist. Like, this Spinner Championship wouldn't exist. Like, come on, y'all. Like, he put the WWE on his shoulders. You got to give John Cena his due respect. You have to. Like, you got to quit hating. Let's quit the hate, man. If I had to pick a favorite match, it's between his match. His name is John Cena! That and his match against The Rock at WrestleMania 28. It's between those two for me. And then there's that Royal Rumble 07 match he had against Umaga. Amazing match. Love that match. And then like his return match against Chris Jericho for this, also very good. Also very good. I like that match. But yeah, man. Moving forward. Number 4. Another guy that I would consider in my top 5. Undertaker. Like, dog, it's the Undertaker, man. Come on, man. The streak alone makes him a goat. And the fact that the streak happened on accident. Y'all already know what my favorite streak match is. Him versus Shawn Michaels, Mania 25. But if I had to pick any others, you know what I'm saying? All his matches against Triple H. His other match against Shawn Michaels. His match against Randy Orton at 21. And his match against Edge at 24. Those are the best out of all his streak matches. You know what I'm saying? And his match against CM Punk at WrestleMania 29 is good too. But yeah, man. But if I had to pick a favorite version of Undertaker, I'm not gonna lie, it's when he's in his biker form, because I'm like, why do I feel like this is the actual him when he's not wrestling? I like it when wrestling blurs the lines of reality and kayfabe like that. Vince didn't like that character, but I did. And those of us in early Ruthless Aggression, Late Attitude, we all loved it, and we didn't like it when Kane had to bury that character alive. But it did give a rebirth to the hybrid dead man, and that's one thing I can appreciate WWE for, is just us getting a hybrid dead man. You know what I'm saying? That way he could be his original, dark self. One of my favorite moments was when he choked out and attacked Chavo, which forced Vicky Guerrero to send Big Show to the back to help him. And then he popped up in front of all behind Vicky, and Vicky couldn't escape. So he scare tacted her, and then he choked her and gave her the fresh tombstone pile driver for her troubles, man. Iconic. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, there'll never be another Undertaker. There'll never be another one Undertaker. Hands down. Number 3, I hear something. It's voices in my head. Randy Orton. So yeah, Randy Orton, he definitely one of them ones. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody likes to hype up the Legend Killer saga, but that wasn't peak Randy Orton. Peak Randy Orton was when he was running Raw in late 08, early 09, when he first started the Foreign Legacy and first became the Viper and got the sleeve tattoos and all that, and was punting everybody's heads off. Like, this dude said, his first Royal Rumble, he told Stephanie, "Fire me, let me sue this whole company for everything that it's got. Cancel WrestleMania, put these ingrates out of work. I am begging you, Stephanie McMahon, fire me now. Let me hear the words your father was about to say right before I kicked him in the skull." It took up until, for Randy Orton's reign of terror to end, it took from April of that year to about November. You know what I'm saying? For Randy Orton's reign of terror to truly come to an end. Because, like, Randy was just on a whole other tear in 2009. Like, 2009 with people, like, he was diabolical. Like, he was already a rough and gruff, cocky badass and that is capable of doing some damage in the mid-2000s underneath his Legend Killer gimmick. But, dude, bald-headed Viper Randy, you didn't want to F with him. If I had to pick a favorite match, I did like the match where he put the Intercontinental belt on line against Mick Foley at, I think it was Backlash 04. That was awesome. His first WrestleMania win against Mick Foley and The Rock with the other two members of Evolution, Batista and Ric Flair, was awesome too. But it's definitely, if it's not his match against The Undertaker at Mania 21, it's definitely when he got his lick back at SummerSlam 05 that year. It's definitely when he's got his lick back at SummerSlam 05. That and his match against Shawn Michaels for the WWE Championship, where Shawn Michaels couldn't use the sweet chin music against him. That was pretty good too. And then his match when he defended the WWE Championship against Triple H and Randy Orton, that was pretty solid as well. You know what I'm saying? His match against CM Punk was fire too. You know what I'm saying? His match against CM Punk at WrestleMania 27 was fire too. It was one of the better matches out of that trash ass WrestleMania anyway, that I always go back to. But yeah, man. Ain't gonna be another one like Randy. You know what I'm saying? I'll also say his Iron Man match against John Cena at Breaking Rights 09 was amazing too. But yeah, man. Number 2, we got Jeff Hardy in the building. Now I put Jeff Hardy at number 2 because Jeff Hardy is who got me into wrestling. Like, when I first played WWE SmackDown Just Bring It, that's what I'm talking about. That's why he's doing it. That started. That's why he's the GOAT. From that point, the GOAT. Watching wrestling because of Jeff Hardy. It was something about his armbands and his style of clothes. Like, it was a trend. It was a wave. But everybody know peak Jeff Hardy was late 08 to mid 2009 when he was on top of the world on SmackDown. Everything from, saying him winning the WWE Championship in a triple threat match, favorite Jeff Hardy match by the way, to him, winning the ladder match against Edge to get the World Heavyweight title despite being screwed by CM Punk, but getting that same title back at Night of Champions, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, in between that, his second feud against Matt Hardy. his second feud against Matt Hardy, bro. Because they already had a first feud in, like, I think it was like late 2000, early 2001. Like, I know it was like brief, but it didn't land as hard as 2009 when Matt Hardy screwed him over. Like, you couldn't help but feel for Jeff Hardy. Like, we wanted him to stay WWE champion longer, but the jealousy of Matt Hardy overtook him and led him to do what he did. So yeah, man, perfect writing, stellar writing. And then like everything from his house fire and then his car accident and his pyrotechnic accident, everything that was bad happening to him. Oh my goodness, we never thought it was Matt, but it turned out to be Matt. We never thought it was going to be him. You know what I mean? Shout out the creative team of Freddie Prinze Jr. for even putting the WWE Championship on Jeff Hardy, because it was not originally Vince's idea. It was Freddie Prinze Jr.'s idea. Shout out him. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, he just like he would have gotten it in earlier weight when he was going up against Randy Orton and stuff, because he already proved himself he could be a main event talent after beating Triple H at Armageddon 07, but he couldn't stay clean worth a damn. But yeah, man. But don't you just like, and then like, don't you just love all the times like he's swantoning off ladders and stuff like that, man? Classic. Like even his swanton dive off at the top of the stage at Royal Rumble 2000, you know what I'm saying? And even at WrestleMania later that year. Classic stuff, man. Classic stuff. You know what I'm saying? Jeff Hardy though, like he definitely, like, I don't see how he isn't into the Hall of Fame yet. You know what I'm saying? He should be in there. Sooner rather than later, but I'm guessing.
Drugs. They scared to put him in because of the drugs. He gotta get clean. He gotta stay clean for a while. If Jeff Hardy can stay clean for a while, his Hall of Fame ticket is punched. It's just up to him to get it there.
WWE's probably waiting until his TNA contract is done, and then they're gonna let him come in for one small run and then all day. Hopefully he gets his wish of retiring against Roman, because that's one of the things he wants to do is have a feud with Roman Reigns. But we'll see about that, because Jeff Hardy still does have the star power, because he's beloved in the wrestling world. Beloved. You know what I'm saying? And he's also one of my favorite wrestlers to cosplay. So yeah, man. Shout out Jeff Hardy. Last but not least, Jeff Hardy got me into wrestling. But there's one guy that made me stay there. And I am always somewhere smelling what he's cooking. No diddy. The Rock. Now, Jeff Hardy made me watch. But when I started watching Jeff Hardy, he's not in the main event. You know who was at the time?
That's why he's the GOAT.
And the fact that, you know what I'm saying, he's a brother like myself, I naturally gravitated towards him more, because he had my same color. But yeah, like, this guy had the charisma, the greatest mic skills of every wrestler ever. You know what I'm saying? How he's not in the WWE Hall of Fame, I'll never know. They probably are waiting for him to officially retire, but that's beside the point. The fact that he's back, you know what I'm saying, gives me goosebumps. But yeah, man, The Rock, like, he's definitely arguable. In my unbiased goal list, he's definitely arguably up there for sure. Like, the reason why I held him so high is that when Austin was out injured, he came through and, like, helped keep WWE afloat amidst towards the tail end of the Attitude Era and towards the beginning of the Ruthless Aggression, where he, after becoming Undisputed Champion, after arguably my favorite match with him in it, being that triple threat match at Vengeance with him, Kurt Angle, and Undertaker, he goes to SummerSlam and puts over Brock Lesnar in the best of ways, man. Then he leaves and becomes this Hollywood character. After he's done wrapping up his movie, he becomes this Hollywood character. And this is, in my opinion, don't shoot the messenger, this is his best gimmick ever. You know, and if it wasn't his best gimmick, he wouldn't have brought it back today. Dude, I remember he was dissing Toronto, saying, "Oh yay, Toronto, yay!" He's like strong, taller than a lighthouse, quicker than a buck. Biggest thing to hit Toronto because the Maple Leafs suck. I'm like, oh, he's getting so much heat for this, and I love it. But even then, you couldn't help but still cheer for the Rock around this time. It's the Rock, bro. I remember he was like, I remember he said, one time he said, during one of his best bit ever, the Rock concert, he said leaving Sacramento, I won't ever stay, but I'll be sure to come back when the Lakers beat the Kings in May. Comedic gold. But yeah, man, even his return in 2011 was freaking iconic. Granted, he hosted arguably the worst WrestleMania of all time, but still. And then like him coming back to in-ring action in Survivor Series, leading up to his match against John Cena at WrestleMania 28, amazing. I loved it. And the fact that he performed a proper passing of the torch to John Cena, that's the realest rivalry in wrestling, him versus John Cena. Because like John was throwing so many shots at him for him saying that he loves the WWE despite him not being there for over 7 years. And John Cena has been the man lifting the company afloat on his shoulders during the time that Rock has been gone. And then Rock took a whole lot of offense to that, and that's why Rock started throwing immediate direct shots to John Cena on the mic when he first came back. So you can't fault The Rock for feeling how he felt, and you can't fault John Cena. So that's why it was hard to choose, because both sides of the argument were very valid. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. But John Cena can't talk now because he literally did the same thing, you know what I'm saying, dipped in and out of WWE for Hollywood. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, man, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I apologize for this being so long, but it's 25 of my favorite wrestlers. I couldn't stop talking about them because I love these guys so much. I love wrestling so much. It's my favorite sport. Apart from, it's my favorite number one favorite sport because you know why? They don't lie to you about it being scripted or fixed. You know what I'm saying? The other sports do. But anyways, I'll see you guys soon. You know what I'm saying?
Alrighty. Alrighty. So I try to make this as short as possible. So 100. I said 100. Jesus Christ.
Shut up, bitch.
One hour and 20 minutes versus 1 hour and 40 minutes. Yeah. But anyways, though, that's just gonna about do it for this one, man. It's Mavericks list. I can't be mad at it. Minus Goldberg and goddamn Big Show. See, so relevant I can't even remember his fucking name now. Fucking Big Show, man.
It doesn't matter.
Billy, but my name's Bo. It doesn't matter what your name is. But anyways, though, man, I just go about do it for this one. Oh, man. Most definitely. Alright, y'all already know, man. Shout out to the homie Maverick, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel. For the likes up, or the views up, or the comments up, and all that good stuff over there on his channel. You already know. Hey, man. Hey, Maverick, man. You gotta chill with. You gotta watch your time, dog. You gotta watch your time, dog. 1 hour and 40 minutes for a top 25 wrestler list. Come on, dog. 1 hour and 40 minutes.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
1 hour and 40 minutes. And I had to cut it down to 120. Jesus Christ. But anyways, though, I will see y'all in the next video. Till then, peace out.